welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Melly. For today's topic, I'm going to be presenting to you guys 4 toxic habits that is ruining our lives today, and also I'm going to be giving you all some strategies that you can break free from these toxic habits. Let's get started. So the first toxic habit I'm going to be sharing with you guys today is procrastination. And this habit refers to the tendency of avoiding tasks or delaying tasks. To increase in stress level, a person can also experience decrease in productivity, and it also can cause a person to miss various opportunities. Some of the strategies a person can use to overcome procrastination are breaking a task into small manageable tasks. Secondly, you can also put a deadline on the task that you have to do. And then lastly, you can use time management techniques to help you manage the process of whatever task that you have. The second toxic habit that is ruining our life today is negative self-talk, which involve having a pessimistic and a critical inner dialogue with oneself, which can impact one's self-esteem, and it also can impact one's overall well-being. Therefore, we have to be mindful with the negative self-talk that we're, constantly, verbalizing daily about ourselves. Few of the strategies to combat negative self-talk are practicing self-compassion, challenging the negative self-talk with positive affirmation, and also seeking support from either friends, family member, or a therapist. I think that putting all of these strategies in place can definitely help a person overcome or combat the whole negative self-talk. So the third toxic habit that is ruining our life today is perfectionism. And this refers to the tendency of setting excessive high standard for oneself and also for others. With this, it can lead to self-criticism, and it can also lead to fear of the future. So some of the strategies to break free from perfectionism is setting realistic goals and seeing your failures as a opportunity for growth. Because I know a lot of times when we feel at something, we begin to like criticize ourselves. We tell ourselves all kinds of negative things. Having a little bit of perfectionism is not a bad thing, but however, sometimes people do take it to the extreme, and that's where it becomes a problem. In the sense that even if they make a mistake, instead of seeing the mistake as a tool for learning, they will then go back in themselves and start to like saying, oh, I can't believe I made that mistake. How dare you make such mistake? You're too good for that kind of mistake. Saying all those things to yourself, just because of a mistake that you made, really doesn't do nothing to you. It only brings you down more. And obviously, we don't need to bring ourselves down, because we already have the world that is literally, trying everything possible to bring us down. So if we are fighting ourselves also, then, how do we win the war against ourselves and also against the rest of the world? So yeah. So just think about that. Last toxic habit that is ruining our lives today is people pleasing. And this involves prioritizing other needs and desires above ours. I'm not saying that we shouldn't, care for other people. Obviously, we're put in this world to, serve others. However, I kind of feel like sometimes when we are serving others, we tend to forget about ourselves, about the issues that we're having, or the struggles that we're going through. I just feel like with this, we do have to have a balance. It is important that we are there for other people, but it's also important that we are also there for ourselves. I would say the strategy for this to break free from people pleasing us to be assertive. It does not mean that you're being rude or anything. Versing out what you feel it is that's important to you. You are taking what is important to you into consideration as well. In relationship, in whether it's friendship, whether it's married to a relationship. It has to be some type of balance. You know, I cannot just be giving, 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 and then the other person is just taking, taking, taking without giving. Also, one person is going to become drained. And you don't want that. You don't want that at all. You want a healthy and a balanced relationship between whoever you have a relationship with. If it's your best friend, whether if it's your partner, whether if it's your parent and children relationship, there has to be a balance. You cannot always expect one side to be the giver and then the other side just take, take, take. So how can our balance take place is being assertive, speaking when you need to speak, taking a step back when you need to take a step back. And obviously the other person has to understand that, because like I said, you don't want it to be like a skill like this. You want the skill to be up like this. So yeah, that's just my little understanding, and my little perception of of just in that aspect of people pleasing. Because a lot of times I feel like um we think that it is wrong for us to be assertive, or it is wrong for us to pick ourselves sometimes, because people would be like, oh, you so selfish, or you self-centered, all you do is think about yourself. But are you really, like, if I'm there for you, am I really thinking just about myself? Or if I'm doing, let's say, if I'm doing something for the betterment of the both of us, am I really being selfish? Not, I don't think I'm being selfish. Selfishness is something that I feel me, 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 me. That right there, I think that is selfishness. But if I'm doing something for the betterment of the both of us, or for the both parties, I mean, I don't think that's way of me being selfish, you know? And so, yeah, these four toxic habits are definitely something that I would say we all, as individuals, we all suffer, or we all are struggling with. No one on earth that would say that I'm not a procrastinator, I'm not a people pleaser, I'm not a perfectionist, I'm not talk negatively to myself. There's no one, because in some way or form we all struggle with these things, and it is so important that we found ways to get ourselves out of these habits, because obviously it's impacting us, whether socially, it's impacting us mentally, it's impacting us emotionally, it's impacting us even communicatively. When we are involved in a community and we have a task for that community, to do something in regards to that community, and we're not getting those tasks done, let's say we put in the tasks away, that's going to have an impact on the overall function of the community. Likewise, if we're having negative self-talk about ourselves, that's going to have an effect on how we present ourselves. If we are having, let's say, uh, perfectionism, where we just, all we want to do is, want everyone to think like, oh, we got our life all set up and life is just all perfect. And in reality, life is not perfect. Life is not perfect at all. I mean, I've lived a little bit and I can definitely state that life is not perfect at all. However, it's a continual work that we have to do to get, to where we want to be as far as in life and stuff. And then obviously not being too cocky or too pompous and thinking that you are it. We also have to be humble. Even if we reach a certain status of life, we still have to keep that sense of humility, because again, what we have can be taken away from us, like literally in the blink of an eye. And also, like, their people pleasing thing, you have to have a balance, because if you do not have a balance, you're going to drain yourself, in pleasing people, and that's not healthy for you, and that's not even healthy for the other person. So you have to have a balance in where you are not so absorbed into another person's life, where you also have your life and that person has their life, and obviously your both lives are coming together or connecting or whatever, and then building life together. But a lot of times, I feel like we get so absorbed into people's life and we literally forget about ourselves. And that right there, it is very, very bad behavior and stuff like that. So yeah, thank you so much for being a part of this family. Thank you so much for the support. Thank you so much for the love that you've shown this far. We've come to the end of today's video. For you to comment down below which of these that you find yourself, struggling with currently, or you have struggled with in the past. And definitely just let us know. And pin mine in the comment section below so that we all can, just continue with the conversation. So thank you so much. Don't forget to share. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. And thanks in advance. And I talk to you guys soon. Bye for now.